podcast all the time. Robbie Faulk joins us on the guest line. How you doing? I don't even
look like Aaron Rodgers to you.
He looks exactly like Aaron Rodgers, except without the licensing deals. Yeah. We got the picture up on SuperTalk TV. Sorry, he's sitting here listening to us discuss his looks, Perez.
Oh, sorry, Robbie. We were talking about you like you're not a part of the program.
You know, I would take looking like Aaron Rodgers all day, but my bank account I would much more prefer. I'm a few $1 million lighter, I think.
A few?
Yeah, just a little bit. And also, I appreciate the fact that you mentioned that I had to put up with Brian Hadad every day because that's a chore.
Well, I feel it important that we recognize when someone goes through a hardship for the common good, and we appreciate all that you do there. In all seriousness, have you heard from Hadad today? Is he still alive? Is he unconscious right now?
We had we recorded our podcast right after the game at about 11 o'clock or so, and he was kind of he was okay, I guess. I don't know how he was right after the game or right after our podcast, but he seemed to be handling the news of last night pretty well.
Well, my favorite thing, I saw it on Twitter right after the game ended. He tweeted out, and all he said was, "That just happened." And I'm like, this man is in shock.
I'm pretty sure that's how everybody felt inside this fan base. I mean, talking to fans last night after the game, it was kind of just surreal. And that's kind of the term that was used by a lot of people is just surreal. I mean, you're talking about a fan base that's never experienced this in their entire lifetimes. And there's people that are 90 to 100 years old that have never experienced a Mississippi State National Championship. And it happened. I mean, you never gotten to that stage and won it all and been able to hold that trophy and dogpile at Omaha. And it's a very proud fan base, but it's one that's always been told that, you know, you've done it all but this. And they finally did it. And it's something that you can never take away from this fan base, from this team. And I think a lot of people are just waking up this morning saying, wow, that was real.
Well, and that's part of the problem because I was sitting there and I said this earlier this morning. I listened to like the first 5-6 innings driving up to Jackson last night. Then I ran to my room and turned on the TV and got it on to watch the rest of it. When he laid that bunt down the third base line and they got the throw in and he punched him out and everybody runs out to pile out, you're supposed to be thrilled and excited, and I swear, Robbie, I was sitting there going, oh, man, get back off the field. I guarantee you they're going to review it. There's no way it's over. And that was just the reaction was, no, it's not over. Come on. That's
exactly what I thought, too, because Tim Corbin's been known to argue a call or two, so I was fully expecting him to come out on the field and make sure they went to review that. But was kind of happy they didn't and messing up that dog pile there because that would have definitely been a buzzkill. But speaking of that play, I just thought Mississippi State's defense was just incredible throughout the entire College World Series. They didn't record a single error in the College World Series, and Vanderbilt, I think, had double-digit errors. And that's a team that's played pretty good defense, but just didn't happen in the College World Series, and State's had an up-and-down season defensively, and I thought that was really a key for them to play so well, and that another reason why I just felt like this team was a team of destiny this year.
Well, it's an important event no matter which way you look at it, but let me ask you this question. Does it mean even more, is it even a bigger deal because of the fact that it wasn't like a 2-1 squeaker game that they just blew them out of the stadium?
Destroyed is the word we're looking for.
Destroyed. That we played that clip several times this morning where they said that Mississippi State national champions after destroying Vanderbilt. Does that make it even better?
I think it does. I mean, the last two games really were just beatings. I mean, they weren't even close. 13-2 in game 2 and 9-0. And I think it just showed that this team was not going to go out without a national championship. They lost 7-2 in game 1, and that really was just one bad inning. They gave up 6 runs in the first inning, gave up 1 run the rest of the way. They ended up giving up 3 runs in the next, what was it, 20-something innings. So, I mean, they left no doubt at all. After they got past that first game, it's like they just were out to prove something, and they did. And to have a one-hitter in that final ball game with a guy that was on 3 days rest, Will Bednar, is just incredible. I mean, to come in there in a national championship game, you just don't see dominance like that often, especially against a good team and program like Vanderbilt. And, you know, this has been a program with a lot of contention with state fans, Vanderbilt, and you know, they've been on the short end of the stick against this program for a long time since Tim Corbin's been there. To come out and just dominate them like that on the national stage in the national championship was really impressive.
That was the best part to me. They left no room for doubt at all. There's no way anybody can poke a pin in it and go, well, I don't know. And I've already heard, Robbie, some of the folks saying, well, you know, there's an asterisk on this because North Carolina State. No. Mississippi State beat everybody that got put in front of them all the way to the last game. There's no asterisk for State. There could have been an argument for that if Vandy had come out on top, but they didn't. There's no asterisk to me on this one.
It's not. They did everything that was put in front of them. They beat Texas, who's the number 2 team in the country. They beat them 3 times, and they made it through a tough part of the bracket. I thought the bracket was really good. Virginia was playing really, really well, and those are the teams you don't want to play at this stage in the game. And Vanderbilt was on full rest with all their pitchers. They got to throw Jack Leiter and Rocker. And I take that back. Rocker was on 4 days rest, but still more rest than Will Bednar. State was throwing 2 starting pitchers on 3 days rest. So State really had an uphill climb in this final, and to win like that was leaving no doubt. I don't think you can argue anything against Mississippi State being the best team in the country when it was all said and done.
How surprising was Bednar? Would you have taken a bet yesterday at noon that Bednar would give 6 no-hit innings?
No, I wouldn't. I thought that he could get 4 innings. I thought 4 innings would be really good for the Bulldogs. And the first 2 innings, it looked like that might be what you get. I mean, he gutted through those first 2 innings.
No, he was way over 20 pitches per inning. I think one of them was like, 25, 26 pitches, I think, at the second inning.
I think he threw 46 pitches in the first 2 innings, which is, I think, what Kumar Rocker was doing as well. Both of those guys looked like guys that were on short rest. But for some reason, Will Bednar gets better and better as the game goes on. And in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning, he just started just eating things up. And I thought the big key was he was just throwing strikes. You know, he didn't have a lot of his control early on. But Vanderbilt has not been doing well offensively. And after that first game, State pitchers just came in there and just threw strikes. They just made Vanderbilt beat them, and they couldn't do it. Vanderbilt was putting bat on the ball, and they weren't hitting it very hard. And Bednar basically just said, I'm going to let my defense play behind me, and that's what he did.
Well, let me ask you one more question, Robbie, and I'm just curious if you've heard this. I don't know if you know or not, but Robbie, who's the national champions in baseball right now?
I believe it's the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
I believe it is. It's fun to have that little interaction back and forth, isn't it?
It is, and it's still surreal for me, too, to even be able to talk about that because, like I said, I mean, this is a fan base that's endured a lot over the years. Nobody's had a national championship to talk about, but State fans can talk about it all they want now.
And nobody can say word one about it. You got to love it. Robbie Faulk, is the new episode of the podcast up, Thunder and Lightning?
It absolutely is. I hope fans can listen to it on the way home.
There's probably screaming in the background. There may be screaming in the foreground with Hadad. I'm not sure.
He was good.
Okay. Just checking. Fantastic day, and man, appreciate your insight on it and your coverage. And one final time, who's the national champion there, Robbie?
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
That's what I